Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of Food for Life, where the food isn't just for the belly. I'm Jennifer Shepler, and nice to have you here. Just to remind you, I'm perfect. Okay, I want to be perfect, but I'm not perfect, and I may make mistakes. And I look forward to having conversations with you to change perspectives and maybe change a heart out there somewhere and make this world a better place. And so here I have to remind you that we practice grace and forgiveness when I make mistakes or misinterpret something and definitely misquote. So if you see me reading, that's most likely because I'm trying to quote. So I thank you again for joining me, and make sure you click like and subscribe to look for the next video that will come out. So, growing up most of my life, I've always been a truth seeker, or truth teller, I should say, always looking for truth, I guess. But I just didn't like lying. I think I was created that way. It's very easy to catch me if I'm lying. I'm one of those who, yeah, I'm going to tell you the tips to tell you how I lie. I may not look you directly in the face when I answer you a question. I might swallow really hard trying to find something to say, or I'll bite my lip. And people have called me out on that. And I'm just like, okay, there's no point in lying if it's that obvious that I'm lying. And so there's so many different ways you can, figure out if somebody's lying or not. And I used to date years ago my daughter's dad. He was a pathological liar. And I mean, he could get anybody to believe anything. And it used to really frustrate me because, I believed that he lied so much that he believed his own bull. And so that's kind of where I'm at when I can sense it now, because he had trained me to see how liars work. And so I knew then that, well, there's no point in lying. If I can figure it out, other people can figure it out. And so I just became a truth teller. And there are some downfalls to that because, like, not a lot of people like to hear the truth and the whole truth and nothing but. And so sometimes I've lost friends over that because of offenses and so, well, whatever, I can't change back time. But I do remember one particular point. And I mean, before I get into that story, so the whole point really is why people lie. I guess we all know that it's a form of trying to find acceptance. It's a way to get into the social acceptance, I guess you can say. So people want to be liked and they want to be enjoyed. So they'll stretch the truth so that you find interest in them, only to discover a little while later that they were lying, and now you don't know what they've said is even truthful at all. And so that hurts your integrity, and that's a bad thing to happen. So, but I also think that being a people pleaser is an unintentional way of lying. And I'll give you a great example of that. Years ago in my 20s, I was struggling to meet people, and so I learned how to be a people pleaser, and I can see this throughout my life of where I was a people pleaser. And one particular case, I was hanging out with a new friend, and she just had a love of birds. Everything was always about birds. I can tell that that was her thing. But I really wanted her to like me. And so I started talking about birds also and enjoying the conversation with her. And I remember at one point she says to me, "Do you really like birds, or are you liking them because I do?" And I remember lying to her. And I said, "I like birds." And I remember saying to her, now I don't remember the exact full conversation. and what exactly I said to her. But I do remember me trying to weasel my way out of it by saying something along the lines of, well, I like birds, but I think that since you've talked about them so much, you've gotten me to like them more and appreciate them more. And I got a long pause from her with that. And needless to say, we didn't really hang out much after that. In fact, it was pretty much that friendship was over. And so it took me years to realize, well, she just didn't like me lying to her, when I could have just said to her, you know what? No, I'm not a bird person. But I mean, I never really thought about it until I met you, just how fascinating they are. So why not learn about it? And then maybe that would have been a little bit more of a truth telling than the way I said it. And so I think she caught on that I was a people pleaser, and I didn't even realize it myself because I didn't know I was a people pleaser. It was just a way that I tried to make friends and fit in. This was before I even knew who I was as a person. And so people pleasing is a form of lying, but to yourself. And I mean, sometimes in my case, I was lying to my friend too. So it's no wonder she didn't want to hang out with me. So, in a nutshell, lying really is about low self esteem. And so, when you have low self esteem, people don't want to let others know that. And so we have this tendency to fib a little bit or extend the truth because we want to be recognized and we want to be cared for and we want to be liked and loved and all that other stuff. So we throw in these little tidbits of lies to get people to like us. And the next thing you know, they call us out on it, or something happens and the truth comes out. And then now they don't know, when did you lie and when did you tell the truth? So now they're not going to believe anything that you have to say. And so that is even more effective on your low self-esteem. So I'm here to let you know that lying isn't going to get you anywhere. And I don't know how many times I've been online and I would talk to a guy, and you can tell within, or at least I can, within maybe 10 minutes of a conversation, if that guy is actually who he says he is, or is he trying to manipulate his world to where it looks like I would be interested in it. And then to come to find out that these guys end up miserable because they lied about somebody. And I married one like that who lied to me online about who he was. And then I move up to Canada for him. And then I find out that everything he said to me was a lie. And I'm like, well, how did that benefit him? I mean, it benefited me because I realized, gosh, I got to do more studying and more digging for the truth. And I didn't know to do that then. I do now. But then also that, he lied about his own self. And so now he's discovered that he has a wife who's left him. And so how does he gain from that? He didn't gain any self-acceptance. He didn't gain any pride. He didn't gain anything out of it but misery, because we were completely non-compatible. So lying is nothing but the devil's world. It is the devil's way of destroying you. And that's what his mission is in life, is to I don't know the exact words. I'm sure some of you know, to deceive you, to kill you, and destroy you, something along those lines. And that's exactly what it is. And when you are a liar or you have trouble with lying, and I don't like to use the word liar because I believe people can change. And so it's really about a thinking about what's causing you to lie and what are you trying to get out of it, versus what's better than to just tell the truth so that you get more opportunities. And when you tell the truth, you get more opportunities. And when you lie, you don't. So the devil doesn't want you to have opportunities. And so he will destroy you by using lies and making you believe that lying is going to get you somewhere. When if you follow Jesus and realize telling the truth is going to get you everywhere, that's when your opportunities come and you discover new things. And you can't bring opportunities and discovery when you don't tell the truth. And there is just no benefits to lying. And there's so many more benefits to being truthful. And I will tell you that, if somebody doesn't like you simply because you don't look like something or because you don't act like a certain way or you aren't jiving with them, that's okay. You just have to remember to accept the fact that we are not meant to be friends with everybody. We are not meant to like everybody. We are meant to respect one another and treat each other kindly. So truth telling will bring you closer to that type of a life, and then you will find that you're actually a great person because you tell the truth. And so I've picked out a verse in the Bible that relies quite well to this, and there's lots of different scriptures you can find concerning lying. All you got to do is just Google, what does the Bible say about lying, or any other topic, and you get all kinds of scriptures to read from. And so I came up with Proverbs 13:5 that says, "The righteous hate what is false, but the wicked make themselves a stench and bring shame onto themselves." And that's what happened with me when I told that friend that, yeah, I like birds because you do. I mean, it embarrassed me. And obviously, I never forgot it because I'm still talking about it today. But I learned from it. And from that point on, I tried hard not to be such a people pleaser, which is kind of sometimes for some of us, it's unavoidable if we're going through tragedies and traumas. But it taught me to just tell the truth. And I just had to accept the fact that some people just didn't like me because I am who I am and they don't jive with that. And that's a whole different situation. When you gain self-respect and self-esteem, all that just doesn't make sense and it doesn't matter anymore. So you don't need to lie anymore. And that's where I have come to now that I'm in my 50s. So don't bring shame onto yourself by lying. Be truthful. Be proud of the person that God created you to be. And you will find that you will be blessed with many opportunities and many good things and not have to worry about life's BS if you're a compulsive liar. So with that, we're going to do the motivational draw for the day. And let's see what comes up. And I got this off of the Women's Day magazine. They do some scriptures in there. And I randomly picked Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. There you go. And I think that's really a good motivation for you to be in positive and flow with God and bless God for the good that you have in your life. And thank the Holy Spirit who guides you and tells you who the good friends are and who are not the good friends. And the Holy Spirit who will tell you the truth if someone lies to you. So may you have a blessed week, and I hope that these videos bring you some smiles and joy and a new perspective. And I hope to see you next time. So don't forget to click and subscribe and leave a comment if you have an idea for a video. I'd look forward to hearing from you. Take care and stay blessed.